Let's see. Let me then just reconnect with my technical team and see whether Lukasz is okay and whether his presentation is sharing. Just a second.
All right, so hello everyone. It's great to be virtual at this time at World Summits. I'm connecting directly from our office in Athens, Greece, where I had the chance to mingle with an amazing Greek ecosystem. And kudos to everyone involved in World Summit. Literally, I've seen many posts, Instagram stories coming directly from the founders who joined. I've seen many great companies, and definitely I'm keeping my fingers crossed for all those startups who'll be later today pitching on the stage in the battle. And so my name is Lukasz Fox. I do lead our strategic investments and motions targeting digital native companies, including startups. I spent more than 10 years directly in Central and Eastern European ecosystem by partnering with key communities, VCs, accelerators, and of course, startups, scale-ups, and unicorns in our region. And that was the big inspiration actually for the session today. So I try to reflect on all of those conversations, and very often those were heated debates around some specific lessons and aspects of being a founder. So again, I try to be very focused on those, and we see startups as partners. So literally, we had plenty of opportunities recently to meet with founders, and I try to pick a couple of highlights, let's say, and top of mind of those founders whom I met. And I do hope you will find some useful guidance and some specific tips that you might take and implement in some specific challenges that you face right now. And also recently we launched a brand new startup program. Definitely that was an interesting project. Some of you know that we had P-Spark, then we had a late stage program, but now we have a platform which is actually a community. So it gives us more and more opportunities to be very close to you, to founders and Central Eastern European founders. And we see it as an interesting project where we have very lean milestones behind, and we are trying to constantly add new features and perks. So definitely I'll be keen to also discuss with you later how you see that program. So feel free to ping me over the LinkedIn. But definitely it's more personal. We want to be very close to you. But definitely we open the doors to our program to every startup at any stage. So in case you are early stage founder, you just created your business model and napkin, definitely you are welcome to join. In case you are scale up, you look for traction, maybe you want to discuss some specific customer cases that you might build with us, Founders Cup is also for you. And what was the pivot and what was the source of learning? Definitely, for sure, you see Microsoft as a tech provider. We have Azure Cloud, we have plenty of different kind of tech offerings. And yes, we still do provide the access to our tech, to Azure, Microsoft 365, Dynamics, GitHub, and so on. We want to also expand the tech benefits to third-party solutions. Recently, we announced that every startup in Founders Hub would have the access to OpenAI, not only kind of the premium SKU of their kind of tech, but definitely also to experts. And it goes beyond. I mean, the value prop goes beyond tech. So we want to also give you some business-specific perks. For example, we have more than 600 mentors who are Microsoft employees coming from all around the world, who are experts not only again in tech, but definitely they are representing different superpowers and very diverse skill sets. And also we have regular meetups and specific community events, for example, where you could mingle with top EMEA VCs. And that's what we do right now. Have a look, check. Definitely we look for more and more ways how we could be in direct connection with you, but also how we could scale and help and empower even more founders. You could join right now on startupsmicrosoft.com. And again, the launch been very intense for us. We launched the program back in March, and it has given an amazing opportunity to, again, connect to all of those stakeholders who I mentioned at the beginning. And again, by moving to the core part of my presentation, I try to sum up at the top of mind of those conversations And at the end, I do hope those are going to be some interesting aspects that might inspire our future discussions and conversations that you might have also with other speakers and experts who are joining World Summit. Let me start with the first one. This morning when I went to sifted.eu and when I compared the notes with TechCrunch, the headlines were quite terrifying. Everyone is discussing about some layoffs, the decreased valuations of even private companies. There are some discussions, how to embrace the resilience in those turbulent times. So definitely that was a theme in our conversations directly with founders. How we might help you really survive those, again, difficult times. And I've seen an amazing kind of go-dos that have been planned by the founders. The idea of resiliency plan is amazing. So you could have a blueprint. So literally a laundry list of must-haves that you need to follow around some specific important aspects of your business. For example, in case you are a SaaS founder, probably you are obsessed about erosion, you want to add a stable new growth towards your business. And nowadays, it's different. Probably you count every penny that you spend on the paid media. And there are some specific kind of crisis management aspects of the operations nowadays, where probably you need to be even more mindful about some specific investments that you make for the growth, but also how do you retain talent, how you keep the sanity as a founder. So again, write down all of those great kind of micro tactics, micro recovery habits that you want to build, just to ensure that you will have a guideline, just that would help you navigate through, again, quite difficult times. And we live in the era of extremes. I mentioned what media outlets are saying right now, but still, we finished 2021 very strong. 100 unicorns were created directly in Europe. Average European startup have created at least 17 roles. So literally, the tech industry is still booming. Yes, there are some challenges, but don't get overwhelmed by all those kind of extreme signals. Stay focused, build your resiliency plan, and definitely follow the best practices that you will set by yourself. And how we could help, as Microsoft there. Traction. In case you are, for example, a B2B focused startup, we have our marketplaces where you could list and even transact together with us your SaaS solution. So imagine a CTO of Fortune 500 company, he or she is looking for a new CRM solution. They could go directly to Azure Marketplace, they would type the keywords, and they could find your solution. And what's the beauty of that partnership? It will help you to also integrate with our billing system so that end customer would see one invoice after using your solution on top of the Azure cloud. And also our kind of Salesforce is keen to pitch your solution whenever you will be the part of the program. In case you are a B2C startup, probably B2B cloud marketplace is not a thing for you for getting that kind of plan, how to stay resilient in terms of growth. Again, join Founders Hub. We are having hundreds of mentors who help, for example, lead their customers. And they are currently our industry leaders who are very keen to also spend the time and dedicate their superpowers towards those specific conversations that you might have one-on-one. Second lesson, we've all been having that remote work kind of talent in our teams. Always we've been looking for some specific people with that unique skill set, and remote work being kind of also, I feel, a default for digital native companies. But in the post-pandemic era, definitely the culture has changed. Even that I'm joining the event in a hybrid mode, and still we have Microsoft for Startups during World Summit, is that sign of kind of new hybrid first world. And I've seen when I've been working with governments and public policy makers, a lot of initiatives around really helping some local hubs to flourish. People don't have to relocate to the capital cities of specific countries, to your headquarters. You're able to literally target the new pool of talent that wasn't, for example, keen to relocate. And for example, maybe even you haven't been able to even afford to support the relocation in terms of visa matters, in terms of the real move that should be secured as part of such, let's say, relocation campaign. So what I'm trying to say, that flexibility being there, of course, the challenge maybe for the ACR strategy, it's also the value that people seek right now in the job description. But definitely from those signals that I've got from founders, it's a huge opportunity. And I feel it's also a huge support for local economies that could create even more programs where the digital first talent could mingle and stay on site, but still they will be working for your amazing company that might be having an HQ in a completely different city or either the country. And I've seen even the startup that's created, again, digital first consultancy services where they're able to help you to create those new legal entities, yes? Because like remote first talent is also the challenge for the compliance, but there is the answer for that. There are amazing companies who are able to help you to create a new kind of satellite subsidiary in completely different cities. So I feel it's one of those amazing examples on how the startup ecosystem really tried to pivot around those new challenges. How we could help, again, just to not sound like Captain Obvious who is just saying some obvious things, and you might tell me, okay, how Microsoft through Founders Hub may help us. So we are constantly like running community events called Open House. You could have a look on our LinkedIn profile called Microsoft for Startups, where we want to invite you, even in case you are not part of Founders Hub, to join some specific conversations with people who are very kind of skills in the area of hiring. And of course, we have plenty of people with HR background directly as our mentors in the Founders Hub, and they are available for you. Keep in mind, those mentors that we have in Founders Hub, they are not only geeks who are talking about cloud. Definitely, we work with global teams to ensure that we have a diverse pool of experts who are going to dedicate and pay some karma towards those startups who are active in Founders Hub. Third lesson, I've seen many companies who've been trying to look for the talent coming from corporates, and even in Central and Eastern Europe, those subsidiaries of big corporates have created a great talent that is available for you. I'm in Greece, for example, our subsidiary Greece has been created in 1992. So there's an amazing group of people who are very keen to help you with some specific challenges as a mentors, maybe as your future board of directors, but definitely it's the also pool of people who are able to navigate you towards some specific processes that you might take from the corporate and apply into your startup. I know it might sound like a daunting task, so copycat the corporate processes, but again, we live in the turbulent times, so any best practice that works, I feel it's worth to check. And even I checked who's joining World Summit. There are many people who started the startups after they left the corporate world, directly in Central and Eastern Europe. And let's follow some practices, partner with some specific corporate accelerators where we'll be able to spot some good practices and at the end shadow them and implement as core ones in your startup. And literally, when I go to LinkedIn, when I see who changed the job, who is connected, who's talking to someone, what kind of events are happening, I see more and more people who are mingling like this and who are connecting the good sides of the corporate world and implementing, again, those key aspects into the startup culture. How we may help? Learn about COSEP program. Talk to Marta Motel, who is today on site attending World Summit, and she will tell you how we are working with some specific startups to give them the access to all of our sales force all around Central and Eastern Europe, and how we might also be featured in all of our global catalogs of solutions. And you will meet many people from our community, internal community, who work with CXOs, who are pitching to Fortune 500 corporates, who are at the end coming with an amazing enterprise background. So they may help you to create even a stunning pitch that would literally catch a deal for you, for your startup coming from the corporate. So again, to sum up, World of Corporates gives a lot of inspiration, including Central and Eastern Europe, as many corporates have a legacy in that region and able to help you with some specific challenges. For the startup pitch battle that would come after, I've seen the sustainability category, and everyone is talking currently how to literally embrace that social impact, how to pivot and navigate toward those really bold challenges. We've hosted in Greece, Poland, and Czech Republic the dedicated accelerators towards startups who are addressing Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, defined by United Nations. And it was interesting to see that there are two types of companies there. One, pure social impact, totally those are startups with some business models, but at the end, they don't want to grow like hell. They rather want to empower some specific groups, and they are very close to NGOs. But still, they target SDGs. There's another big opportunity, I feel, especially considering recovery funds from European Union, of startups who are taking those SDGs and they're creating new products and services that, for example, are helping big corporates to define their zero waste agenda. And there are amazing startups like Polish Plan B, who is trying to help corporates to calculate the carbon footprint. So there's another kind of industry that emerged directly in the startup ecosystem. But I feel there should be another kind of pillar, the third one, where in every startup, you will try to think, okay, I'm a fintech. Am I able to target one of those 17 SDGs? Yeah, there is affordable access to money. Yeah, how am I, through my fintech solution, really give the access to capital to those people who are maybe not always in touch, aware about specific programs. Maybe there's unfortunately some bias in some specific instruments. So definitely, what I'm trying to say, SDGs are for everyone. You could take some of them and check how sustainable is the supply chain. In case you are a B2C e-commerce company, well, probably know definitely a lot about SDGs. Have a look. I feel we need to follow those SDGs as startup funders, as corporates, as ecosystem makers, because simply it's important for us as human beings. And we have created a dedicated path within Founders Hub for those startups who are addressing societal impact, let's say SDGs. It's not easy even to navigate towards product market fit in that space. Of course, it's an emerging area, like I mentioned, but still you need to keep in mind that it's quite unique. And we partner with organizations like Ashoka. I've seen the Wojtek, who is the president of Polish Ashoka, speaking during World Summit. So at the end, we also partner with them to give the access to some specific experts. And there are more and more subject matter experts who are there, not only from Microsoft, but definitely also from all of those organizations who are best experts in terms of helping SDG-focused startups to have a traction, product market fit, next round of investment from SDG-obsessed VCs, and so on. So literally, in case you've never heard about SDGs, type it into your FAF search engine and have a look what United Nations have mentioned at that list of 17th. The final lesson, I'm coming with a geeky cloud background, so I need to talk about cloud a little bit. Word diversity is often used towards hiring and how we could empower those underrepresented groups, but I feel it's also valid in case you are a CTO developer. There's a plethora of frameworks, new kind of languages, cloud services that you need to take and test. And at the end, there's one mission. I hear from founders, hey, I want to go full cloud native. I don't want to talk about infrastructure as a service. I want to have PaaS and serverless infrastructure across several clouds. We go multi-cloud. Help me. Definitely, it's a kind of holy grail of being a CTO to have a kind of cloud native infrastructure. And as Microsoft under Founders Hub, yes, we still provide credits towards our Microsoft Azure Cloud from Thrive, up to 150K of free credits, depending on the stage that you are in right now. But you want to really help you to squeeze that kind of allowance as a lemon and help you to navigate towards more linked, cloud native, and efficient infrastructure. And we know that you are using several kind of clouds. So we are very keen to take the challenge and help you to navigate how to connect the dots and how to create really, again, modern, serverless, PaaS-based cloud native infrastructure. So on top of credits, you could count on us as technical mentors who will help you. Check Azure Arc. It's our story for multi-cloud solutions. And definitely we are having plenty of free courses. Our strategy is kind of skilling is for all. On Microsoft Learn, you could take a look and, for example, take a course in case you are coming with the kind of non-Microsoft background and have a look and challenge our platform, which is a kind of an ask to you. Literally, we'll be keen to spend some time on this with you. To wrap up, I hope you found some useful topics, either some of those hashtags, keywords that you've seen across those 5 lessons would work and resonate with you. Definitely, I've seen amazing sessions happening in the agenda of World Summit that would continue on those topics. In case you want to download the deck, either you have a feedback for this session or to continue the discussion of a virtual coffee chat, let's connect over LinkedIn. I will publish those slides later. Join Founders Hub. All of those perks are available for you. Founders Hub is, again, open to everyone. Application takes about 4 minutes and it's super quick. Like literally we're asking only a few questions. Then after a few days, we are reviewing the application, and in case it will be approved, and I'm sure it will be approved, you will have the access to all of those perks, and you could do it right now at startupsmicrosoft.com. In case you look for a mentor, again, friendly reminder about those 600 people whom we gathered from Microsoft, who are very keen to pay back the karma and who are very keen to be with you there. And definitely I'm one of them. So in case you see a fit between some of those topics that I mentioned in my session, definitely I'll be keen to spend some time with you over the summer. And definitely, again, I love to spend the time directly with startups. You know that's true. Again, we live in quite turbulent, difficult times. So at least that's how I could help with that. Do not miss our Microsoft for Startups team who is joining Wolf Summit. And again, challenge us, provide feedback, and join Founders Hub. With that, I wish you a great Wolf Summit. It's great to see you there. And in case we are pitching today after in the battle, really, fingers crossed.
Thank you, Lukasz. Thank you so much.